Well, theoretically, I'm live. Let's start with a little bit of music. That is, if it will work for me. There it goes. Well, so far there's nobody here, but that's okay, because I know there'll be a lot of you coming in later, or even after the stream has been live and you're watching the replay. Now, this is a review of the new movie, Godzilla -1. And I have to tell you, it took me a while before I decided to go see this film. But because so many people who I respect their opinion because they're in the film business, kept saying, you have to go see this film. I finally broke down, and last Saturday I saw it. And I was astounded. That's right. UFO Bob was astounded. In fact, I would say it's been maybe at least a decade, maybe 2 decades, since a movie had the emotional impact that Godzilla -1 had upon me. I was shocked at how it moved me emotionally. It's a great film. I'm gonna be honest. I've created my notes over here. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I can tell you all this stuff from memory. So let's go over to the computer and I'll read the notes to you, or at least that's my cheat sheet, right? So let me start by praising the director, and the director, his name is Takashi Yamazaki, and he has created a masterpiece here. I'm serious, a masterpiece of work that honors the spirit and the tone of the original 1954 Godzilla. Now, if you're my age or around my age, most likely you grew up seeing that film. And what you grew up seeing was the version that was Americanized. This was originally a Japanese language film. And in 1954, it was released in the United States with additional footage shot and cut into it using American actors, notably Raymond Burr. And it was good, but that's what I knew. I didn't know any better. Years later, I discovered the original. I watched it in Japanese, and it was, I think, a much better film without all the Americanization that was added to it. But I understand why they did that. 1954, people were used to foreign language films in this country. So they had to have some way of making it relevant to an audience at that time. And what's really nice, the director, Yamazaki, he not only maintained the spirit and the tone, but he added additional layers of nuance and detail to the whole legend and lore of Godzilla. And I tell you, it's more than just a monster movie. In fact, it is more of a human drama. Hey, Ramsey Silent. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. As I was saying now, this film is more of a human drama than a monster movie. You know, it's not a... It has action, it has adventure, but that's not what it centers around. In fact, I would say that the center of the story is really a heart-rending drama of human survival against all odds, and man-made or otherwise. Now, there are quite a few themes that were explored in this film. Excuse me. Oh, you saw it, Ramsey. Outstanding. All right. So getting back to what I was saying, I'm going to talk about the themes here, all right? One of the number one themes, in my opinion, that was expressed in this film was how governments, all governments, lie to the people. They lie to the people most of the time. In some ways, I'd say maybe all the time. You can't trust your government, whether it's the United States of America or Japan or Russia or wherever it is you live. Some are worse than others, of course, but they all do it. And there's a definite undercurrent, more than an undercurrent. It's right out there and open. This hatred for the way you're lied to by your governments. And that really hit me hard. The next thing is self-reliance, honor. And that's a big one for me. There's so little honor today amongst people. I guess maybe there never really was, but I feel there was a time there was more honor than what we have now. Family. More than ever, I feel like the family has been under assault, at least in the United States of America, for the last 25 to 30 years. And I would suspect that's true with other Western countries. And then self-sacrifice for the good of others. That's a very strong sentiment. And perhaps, though, the one I like best, which was stated to me, or actually I heard it from John Dobb recently, and I've heard it before, and that is, fall down 7 times, get up 8. You don't quit. You don't give up. No matter how hard it is, you keep getting up and you keep punching and you keep trying. And it just, God, it drove. I'm telling you, I was so moved when I walked out that night on Saturday. I wanted to go live, but I knew I couldn't because I would been all over the map because there was just too many things I wanted to tell you. So that's why I took some time, put together my notes. In fact, one of the things I will tell you right up front, there were several points in the film where the audience was actually crying, yours truly included. I was so shocked that it made me cry. Come on, I'm an old guy. I've been around the block a couple of times, but I did. Okay, now one of the things I want to give kudos to the director, Mr. Yamazaki, because he knew how to tell a story without filling it with a bunch of irrelevant information. Instead, what he did was he managed to, how can I say this? He paid homage to the original film. In fact, in some ways, this film is actually a very similar retelling. It's not exactly, as I said, it's layers. But the original was made by a director by the name of Shiro Honda, who, fortunately for me, I had the opportunity to meet in 1984 when I was in Japan, attending a Japanese science fiction convention. I was a guest. I was there on behalf of the American film industry, showing the upcoming summer releases of science fiction films. So after I had my presentation, I was backstage and they introduced me to him. And of course, at that time, I didn't speak Japanese sufficiently where I could talk to him. But I did get his signature, and that was pretty good, his autograph. But one of the things, I'll give you some of the high points of what he did to, are you now, Ramsey? That's pretty cool. I wish I could take the time to read all this, but I want to stay on track. I'll read it after the stream is over. There are, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 5 points in the film that are almost shot for shot, and if not shot for shot, close to it, scenes that happened in the original film. One is when a commuter train is attacked by Godzilla. That's number 1. 2 is when the scientists and the general public got together to try and determine how they could kill Godzilla. I mean, right down to, it's not exactly the same, but there's a scene in there where the scientists explain how they're going to deal with Godzilla and take him out. And it's very similar to the original film. There's a scene where reporters are on top of the, I can't remember the name of the, it's a very famous building. It's in downtown Ginza. I've been there. I've stood at it. But these reporters are on top, and they are talking about, Godzilla's rampage. And I won't say any more than that. I don't want to ruin this film for you. I don't want to give anything away. I want you to go there and see it fresh and just be astounded on your own. And then what else? Now, again, unless you have seen the original film and you've heard the music score, that music score was written by Akira Ifukube. He was the composer of the original Godzilla music. And I suspect many of you people have heard that music. I'm not going to hum it. Again, I don't want to wreck it for you, but when that music comes on, particularly at the end of the movie, I got goosebumps. It just, I want to go back and see it just because of that scene. All right? Now, the current composer is a fellow by the name of Naoki Sato, and he did a wonderful job of crafting a musical score that was modern, yet was true to the original film in terms of its tonal qualities. I think you're going to like it. All right. Now, let's talk about the actors in this film. I'm going to not mention them all, just the 3 top ones, but everybody in that film did a great job. The female lead was, her name is Minami Hamabe. Okay, she plays a character by the name of Noriko Oishi. Oishi is Shikishima's girlfriend. Shikishima is the lead of the whole movie. It's all centered around him and his what's the word I'm looking for? His personal demons that he has to deal with because of something that he did or did not do. She did a fine job. I wish she had been in the story a little bit more. Then there is Munitaka Aoki. And he plays a character named Sosaku Tanabachi. No, excuse me. Yeah. No, Tachibana. Excuse me, my mistake. All right? He plays the tech sergeant. And then the other one is the star of the film, and his name is Runosuke Kamiki. He plays Koichi Shikishima. And I won't tell you what Shikishima did, what he was, and any more than that, but damn, he did a great job. She was the, Katayama, she was the love interest, okay? If you saw the movie, then you should know what I'm referring to, but I don't want to go into any more detail than that. Okay, one of the things I will tell you though, the depth and range of emotion that, I want to make sure I say his name. I'm going to call him Kamiki-san. I was floored when I saw a couple of the scenes that he did. He had to walk away drained emotionally and physically. She was the first. Okay. Damn. I mean, I'm trying to keep a balance here so I don't give anything away. I want you to go see this movie, see it fresh, see it with a big audience, a large audience, lots of people. How's that? Okay. And the special effects, might I point out to you, are spectacular. And what makes this even more amazing is, do you realize this film was produced on less than $15 million? In fact, when I was doing my research, I came across, I believe it was on Wikipedia. I'm going to put all the links later in the description box after this stream is over, where he said he wished he had that much money to make the movie. So he made it for less than 15 million. Okay. Now and this is on Wikipedia, so you can go dig it up on your own. But again, the links will be there later. What is astounding, and this points up the Hollywood is no longer producing quality films, entertaining films, films with a heart, films with an honest story, films that don't have an agenda. They got things they want to say that I don't think most people give a damn about. When you go to the movies, you want to be entertained. So, I'll tell you what's happened to Hollywood because of all of this. This is from both Screen Rants and Forbes Online. Again, the links will be in the description box later. Hollywood flops in 2023. The 10 most expensive films in 2023, they flopped. Disney lost over $1 billion. $1 billion just on 4 films. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It cost $295 million. It sucked. Well, maybe it didn't suck. I didn't really see it. But it didn't do it. Let's put it this way. It didn't make its money back. The Little Mermaid, that's another Disney film. That was $300 million. Then there's some film called The Secret Invasion, which I don't know about. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Again, those were in the $250 million range. But the point is they all flopped. Now, let's see, have I covered everything? I think I have. So that pretty much wraps it up then. It's a great movie. There were some things that broke my suspension of disbelief. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, it got panned. Actually, my friend Jason, who's a film editor, professional film editor in the motion picture industry, he said very much the same thing. I'll have to go check it out. Yeah, I know that you were referring to Indiana Jones. So that pretty much sums it up, I think. If you get a chance, I hope you will go. Yeah, but liking it and look, when somebody can spend $15 million, let's just say call it that, and do a better job than Disney did and the other studios, because it wasn't just Disney that tanked. Basically, all of Hollywood was tanking. Did it for $15 million. That tells you they're on the wrong track. It's not about throwing money at a project. It's about writing good stories and telling stories that people want to hear and see. Now, I will say one thing about Godzilla Minus One. You'll understand this, I think, when you see the movie. But in a way, I understand why they did what they did. But I wish they hadn't done it. I would have, hey, Jazz Hellcat, good to see you. Happy New Year. I personally would have preferred a slightly different ending. And that ending would be, how can I put it? I think perhaps a little more true to the characters. But again, they're out to make money. I understand why they did what they did. So, bottom line is, UFO Bob gives it, there it is, there's the thumbs up. Go see Godzilla -1. All right? Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be coming at you again with some more of live streams in the near future. Until then, this is UFO Bob out. Take care, everybody.